It is the night before my first ever reining competition. I'm a little bit tired. Chilli's washed. We had our last run through of our pattern. I think it went good, but I've never had a reining lesson, so I don't really know what I'm doing. The float's packed, everything's clean. So far, surprisingly, the tizzies haven't hit me yet. I'm sure tomorrow, once she's safely loaded on the float, it's probably going to hit me big time. But so far, I'm cool, calm, and collected. Or it just could be that I'm very tired. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. We're on our way to go get Chilli and make this happen. Still no tizzies, so that's a good sign.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, do something good, something for you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
So first up is the walk trot test. When I say that I didn't have nerves before, maybe at this point I was beginning to run through the test and everything. She was quite nervous, but I was quite tight through my body, and I don't think I did her any favours. But the plan with the walk trot pattern was always just to get her in the indoor. She'd never been in a covered arena. Well, to the best of my knowledge, she might have been prior to me, but with me she'd never had. And the whole test, she was tight. Like, this here was a small circle rather than a spin. And she was resisting in the halt and things like in the stop. But I was quite proud that I didn't let the nerves get so far on top of me that I stopped riding. That's usually a big thing for me when I get too nervous. So I did actively keep riding the whole way around. But as you can see there, she backed up when she wasn't meant to. She was meant to just come to a nice stop there. She was really just trying to give me what she thought I wanted. That was a much better spin then. I think I gave a big smile that it was a bit more of a spin than a circle. And then there's that nice feeling of you're halfway through the pattern. So there's not much longer to get through. So now we're about to go down through the middle and do a rollback. Rollbacks for us are a work in progress, so be kind. I'm not sure that we got that many actual rollbacks on the day, but she tried, I tried. As I said, I'm an English rider. I haven't had any reining lessons. This was my first ever dipping my toe in the reining pool, so to speak. And we're going to do another rollback there, but resistance. She obviously reined back. And then we should finish this one here on a stop and a rein back, which was a bit wonky donkey. So that was walk trot done and dusted for me, and a nice pack. And there was fairly low numbers, so I pretty much went out of the pen and came back in to do pattern A, which was Into Rainer. She was a little bit looky. There had been some kangaroos. Now, she does tend to settle in her canter work, lope work a lot better than the trot. And I think that I was a bit more relaxed this time, and you can see how she's responding. We just, there was our whoops, that's when a kangaroo went past. You can just see that we're a little bit more settled into it. And honestly, this pattern here, she did so much better than I thought she was. I was expecting her to be very, very tight and nervy. And she really tried. The whole day she really tried. There she's settling a little bit and started off a little messy. And she didn't quite, there we go, couldn't quite stop how I wanted. She has a little look here. The judges were sitting there and they hadn't moved from the last pattern, but there she had a bit of a look, but she settled down, once again, trying to really listen and respond. And I just think that this is such a great starting point for us. Obviously, we are doing so many things wrong. I know that. I'm not claiming to be a reiner. What I am claiming to be is someone that this was the first time I went out for 15 years on a very hot little mare that gets super nervous. And honestly, I can't be prouder of us. Another slight little whoops there where she wasn't meant to be backing up. But you know what? We just settled in. We didn't let it worry us. Went into our 2 spins. And I'm still breathing. I haven't passed out yet. Once again, it's the nice part of the test, or I should say pattern. Sorry, you can still see I'm an English rider, where you're over halfway, so there's not much more to do. And I was actually starting to enjoy myself at this point. She was just being such a good little girl and trying. And I can see where we will be if we actually get some lessons. That's another little whoops. She wasn't meant to back then and go back, and the rollback wasn't super great. But, as I said, this is our starting point, and she's done everything that I've asked of her. And let's be honest, I don't 100% know how to ask for these things either. So, super proud of Chilli. Good girl.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
So it has been a couple of days now since we came home from the competition. And what was my take home? I still feel like I'm an English rider pretending to be a reiner, which is fair. I've never had a reining lesson. It was just so welcoming. It didn't matter. It's definitely lit a fire for me to get some lessons, some clinics, and really try and give this reining thing a go. When I was there, everyone was so welcoming that the nerves never really grabbed a hold of me. Chilli exceeded my expectations. So hopefully you're seeing me do it at my first innings. I mean, it was over 15 years since I'd been to a competition. Chilli had never been anywhere except to change agistment places. And we did fine. Someone commented that no matter how bad you do when you go out, you're still doing better than the person that didn't go out at all. And that's what I'm going to remember. And you're going to see, as I said, I'm always going to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. So next time.
Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna